Welcome back to another podcast of 904 and More. I'm Tyler, and I'm joined by my co-host, Brandon. How you doing?
Doing good, man.
All right, so let's get right into it. Week 4 picks, man. Week 4 is already here, and we start things off with a good game here. Well, for us, I think. This is the Jaguars at the Bengals, Thursday Night Football. What are your thoughts and prediction for the game?
I think we talked about before. I don't know why. I feel like this is lining up to a win. I feel like we progressively have gotten better every week. If this was like the first game of the year, like how we played against the Texans, probably wouldn't win this game. But considering this is week 4, Trevor's gotten better every year. The defense has gotten better, not every year, every week. The defense has also gotten better every week. They're going to be out T. Higgins. They're going to be out their starting safety, out their right tackle, and some other players. I'm looking at it and I'm like, Jags are pretty healthy, actually, if you look at their overall roster. Only one guy out due to like injury list. So I don't know. I'm feeling like Jags are going to pull this W out on Thursday night.
Yeah, I actually think the Jaguars are going to win as well. Josh Allen was the most notable person that's not playing for the Jaguars this week because of personal issues. And that right there, I think that means he's done more likely as a Jaguars kicker. And then the main guy out is Roy Robertson-Harris. But even last week, the Jags defense played well without him. So exactly. I do expect them to keep getting better each and every week. I do think it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to go like Jaguars, 27-24. I think it's going to be a close game, though.
Yeah, I could totally see that happening. I think it might be a little bit of a low scoring game. I think both teams are going to try to really run the ball. Joe Mixon has done actually well this year. All their touchdowns have basically come from passing, but T. Higgins being out, they're missing some defensive players, and Joe Burrow he's going to have to go up with his right tackle missing. And I'm pretty sure the Jags are going to try to really pressure. They have one of the best pressures in the league defensive wise, right tackle out. I'm pretty sure they don't want long and distance. I think it's going to be a very low scoring running game.
And also Eli Apple, I think, is going to start for the Bengals, and he actually leads the NFL in pass interferences.
Yeah, I would just send Chark if he's like guarding Chark or Marvin Jones. Even maybe this is Tyron Johnson's game where it's just like put him against Eli Apple and just run him flies every route. We'll see what happens, but I personally kind of like this matchup. Always liked this matchup.
No whirly though. Whatever. We're not.
I mean, I've kind of like they showed. Have you seen the Vikings video?
Yeah, the Vikings worked it perfectly, but us no. If we're gonna do it, how we do it,
that we didn't line it up perfectly. Like we had Norwell come off and no one picked his guy that he was coming off of. So it was like, and they didn't have anybody rushing on the edge. Like I don't remember what team the Vikings were facing that week, but it was like, there was no one there. So it was just like, it was a mess. That's like, you got too fancy with it. Like,
yeah.
So I don't think like
Clark was open on the play as well.
That was a touchdown. It was a touchdown. If Norwell didn't do the little turnstile thing, which I gave him crap for it, but I guess you really got to give crap to Bevel because he drew that play up against that defense and it completely blew up in their face.
Absolutely. So let's go into Sunday's games. We got the Titans at the Jets. This is interesting because AJ Brown's probably gonna be out. Julio Jones is a questionable, kind of like a game time decision. Can the Jets stop Derrick Henry? Believe it or not, I think it's gonna be a lot closer than people think, but I am gonna pick the Titans to win.
Yeah, same. This Jets team, I don't think will win a game. Like, to be perfectly honest, they look terrible. They're like 50 points allowed and like 6-4. So they're like minus 45 in points. There's no way I'm ever going to take the Jets this year.
I could see that. So next up, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Eagles. Chiefs actually 1-2. Are they going to bounce back against your Philadelphia Eagles? I know you're an Eagles and Jags fan. I'm going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs to actually win by at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a blowout. What we saw last night, or what was the last night, Monday night with the freaking Eagles, they looked pathetic. The secondary looked terrible. Miles Sanders, 3 attempts. It might be 3 attempts again because Patrick Mahomes is going to put like 30-plus points on the Eagles, and I don't think that's what the Eagles are good at.
It seems like for the Eagles to win this week, they need to score 35 or more.
Or just control possession for once and not have 13 plays by halftime, like they did against Dallas.
Well, we'll see what happens there, but we both agree with the Chiefs winning. Next up, a good game here. The Panthers at the Cowboys. Can the Panthers start 4-0? Cowboys 2-1. Cowboys had a pretty good Monday night win over the Eagles. I'm actually going to pick the Dallas Cowboys to win this game.
I completely agree. I'm actually kind of sold on this Cowboys team. I think they're legit. Their defense looks a lot better. that Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott is starting to cause defenses some issues with trying to line up. And Dak is looking like he might not be comeback player of the year, but possibly MVP candidate the way he's playing. So I agree.
Yeah.
I'm taking Dallas.
Yeah, absolutely. Eagles might have some catching up to do if the Cowboys do win this game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Might be a wild card is the only way they could possibly get in.
Next up, we have the Giants at the Saints. Giants, I think, are going to start the season 0-4 because I think the Saints are going to continue win once again. And I think it's going to be kind of an easy win for the Saints.
Yeah, I completely agree, especially the way the Saints handled the Patriots last week. Patriots obviously are much better. Even with a rookie quarterback, I think they're better than the Giants. Barkley may give the Patriots some issues, but Patriots got a really good defense. I got to take the Patriots in that one as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We agree on another one right here. Browns at Vikings. The Vikings had a nice win over the Seattle Seahawks. Can that continue? I don't think so. Give me the Cleveland Browns to win.
Yeah, I think this one might be closer. Kirk Cousins is actually doing very well this year. Thielen and Jefferson are doing well, even without Irv Smith, who we all thought was going to be a breakout guy. But yeah, I think the Browns are the Browns are looking like AFC North favorites right now.
And absolutely.
I'm not seeing the Vikings even making the playoffs. So just with that, it's got to be the Browns.
I'm going to give Kirk Cousins some props. I think what's he have 9 touchdowns, 0 picks already.
So he has the best completion percentage or quarterback rating. One of those stats when he has a clean pocket in the entire league. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, when he has a clean pocket, he's the most accurate quarterback after week 3.
I mean, we see him do some work with Washington a few years ago. But
as long as it's not a Monday night football game, he plays great.
Right. Next up, we have the Lions at the Bears. Can Justin Fields get his first win? I'm actually going to pick the Detroit Lions to get their first win of the season.
Man, we keep agreeing on picks. Like, this is making me worry, but I'm also going to Lions. They've done really well this year. If it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers just going crazy, it wasn't for an NFL record, this team would be 2-1. They almost came back against the 49ers. I get there was garbage time, but they only lost by 3 points at the end of the day. So yeah. I don't like Chicago. They looked terrible last week. I like the Lions.
Yep. Next up, we get the Texans at the Bills. We're going to agree on this one once again. But Josh Allen the past 2 weeks has looked pretty good. Give me the Bills to beat the Texans.
Now hold on to. No, I'm joking.
Okay. Yeah, you have me going for a second.
No, there's no way I'm picking the Texans in this match with David Mills.
Next up, we got the Colts at the Dolphins. Can the Colts get their first win of the season? I don't know. I'm gonna let you go first here, and then I'll make my decision.
This was tougher than I thought. The Dolphins actually lead the league. Well, I guess we're one of the worst teams in the league against the run. They let other teams just run the ball against them. They don't have a great offensive line. I think this will be close, but I just don't like the Colts this year. I like Miami in this game, but I think it's a nail biter.
Okay, I'm actually going to pick the Colts to win. So what's our first one that we're disagreeing on?
Or I think so. Yeah, I actually do think that was our first one, but it'll be a good. I think it'll be a really good game.
Yeah, I do too. Up next we have Washington at the Atlanta Falcons. Give me Taylor Heineken, right?
Tyler Heineke.
Tyler Heineken. I can never pronounce his name right. Give me Washington to beat the Falcons.
This is where we go opposite. I was going back and forth. I think Washington. All this talk about their defense, and they're ranked like dead last.
Yeah, they're not looking good
in every statistic. I think Calvin Ridley is going to have the game of his life, and I actually like the Falcons in this matchup.
All right, so another one we disagree on. Let's see if we disagree on this next one. Seattle at the 49ers, an NFC West showdown. Give me the Seattle Seahawks and Russell Wilson to bounce back.
That's the exact reason I took Seattle. I was all in on the 49ers this matchup. But I looked at the quarterbacks and I went Russell Wilson versus Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'm like, give me Russell Wilson.
Easy decision then.
Yeah.
Next up, 2 3-0 teams, Cardinals at the Rams. I was gonna pick the Rams, but you know what? I'm gonna go a little different and pick the Cardinals just because I do want to make things a little bit more fun for the podcast, and as well as our pick, I'm actually picking the Cardinals.
I'm the exact same way. I'm all in on the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are Super Bowl favorites this year, in my opinion. I've always had them up there. I think they've done really well on their defense. DeAndre Hopkins should be healthy. DeAndre Hopkins actually has a very good track record against Jalen Ramsey, as we know with the Texans and Jags here. So I think they're going to be looking forward to that matchup. But I think this is probably the best game of the week, football-wise. Like, I think if there's a game to watch this week, this is the game to try to see.
Yeah, I agree. Except for the one everyone fans are going to watch, which we'll talk about in a few minutes.
I think that's overrated now, but yeah.
Next up, we got the Steelers at the Packers. Just give me Packers and Aaron Rodgers. I do not believe in the Steelers one bit.
100% agree. This might be close just because of Najee Harris. Last week he had like 140 something yards or whatever in total. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers is on fire. And when Aaron Rodgers is on fire, the Packers rarely lose.
So another one we agree on. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens at the Denver Broncos. This is like the Broncos' real first game they're playing,
Yep.
It seems like. Can the Broncos keep it undefeated? I don't think so. Give me Baltimore and Lamar Jackson to go to 3-1.
This one's tough because, like you mentioned before, all the combined record of the Denver Broncos opponents are 0-9. The Ravens very well could be 0-3 at this point. Without the Justin Tucker kick, the Patrick Mahomes, the Las Vegas Raiders, all that put together. But I agree. I'm going with the Ravens. I just think they got a lot of players back, especially receiver-wise, so they're throwing the ball should be much better. They're starting to get the run game going with their guys that they brought in. Give me the Ravens in this.
All right, so Sunday Night Football probably going to be the most anticipated matchups of all time. It is actually, I've seen like a stat is like ticket prices for this game are averaging like $2,000 up there. That's like
almost more than the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The Bucks at the Patriots. Obviously, Tom Brady's going to get cheered and all that. They had a tough loss against the Rams, so look for Tom Brady to bounce back, and I think he just dominates the Patriots.
I agree. I don't think this game will be close. This may be it seems like every week there's a new historical most watched game. Like the Panthers and the Texans had it last Thursday and things like, and there was a week before that where it was like the most watched. This one will easily blow all the records. I feel like even people who aren't football fans know the Tom Brady versus the Bill Belichick. This will probably be the last time we ever really see this, this is going to draw monster numbers on Sunday night. But I agree. I think overall game-wise, this isn't going to be close.
Yep, I agree. And Monday Night Football is actually a really good matchup for the AFC West. The Raiders at the Chargers. I was debating either way. Raiders and Derek Carr have looked amazing. But, man, I just love the Chargers a lot this year. So give me the Chargers.
I completely agree. I think the Raiders I was one on the bandwagon of I thought the Raiders were going to be one of the worst teams in the league. Maybe not like actual player-wise, but record-wise, they had one of the hardest schedules in the league, and they're 3-0 at this point. And that's crazy to me, but I think at some point, luck's going to run out. They've had a lot of really close games, overtime games. I think this one the Chargers are going to handle in regular time. This won't even go to overtime.
Absolutely. So we actually agreed on quite a bit, but we did have a few that we disagreed on. Can't agree on everything, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised we agreed on a lot of the stuff. We took a lot of the same kind of takes the way we look at it. So hopefully that's a good sign that we're agreeing this time.
Absolutely. But other than that, thank you all for listening on Spotify, or if you're watching on YouTube, definitely go check us out at 904 more on Twitter, where we are tweeting quite a bit. Actually, Brandon tweeting quite a bit about the Jaguars. He'll be tweeting a lot during the Bengals game tomorrow. But other than that, thanks for listening or watching, and go Jags.
Go Jags.